Borski, and I've got a treat for you today. I've been behind the scenes doing an experiment for the past month on my own content. You see, I'm not like some of these other experts in their fields. I am actually in the trenches with my students and my clients doing everything in real time that I'm asking them to do. So let me dive into today's experiment that I am going to share with you. It's all that's been going on with my content creation. I decided in December that I was going to jump on the bandwagon with doing shorts and repurposing them across Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So this, I'm going to just let you know that I decided I wasn't going to just take the content and repurpose it everywhere onto all three platforms. I decided when I was going to do this experiment that I was just going to focus on YouTube Shorts. Now, why I decided to do that is that I really wanted to keep my focus right on one platform before expanding to other platforms, because I really wanted to understand it. So if you're going to try out something like this that I'm talking about today, you could follow the same thing that I'm going to tell you to do, but pick one platform that you want to do at least a 30-day experiment. It really takes that long to start understanding and getting feedback from the audiences on what to do. But why I picked this is that I've been hearing about it. I've been doing long form video content and repurposing it and having great results with that. But I really wanted to try out short form content to see if it could really kick my YouTube channel up a notch. And boy, the results are in, and I'm really excited to share those with you. So basically what I did was I did not create content every single day. What I did was I set out and batch created a bunch of content. So I sat down and wrote what I thought would be less than 60 second scripts. Okay. So I did I planned on doing about 3 a week, which that was plenty to kickstart and to kind of get stuff going for me. So what I did was I sat down and I wrote out my scripts. Then I just put my phone on portrait mode and I started just creating content after piece of content after piece of content. And finally, I really kind of got rid of the scripts. I just looked at them once and I just said what came out of my head. And within an hour, I can't even remember, I probably had like 11 or 12 pieces of content, which was really enough for a month, especially if I'm going to do them 3 times a week, which was what my experiment was. So once I got that all done, I had all these pieces of great content. So then what I started doing was the first few pieces, I started uploading them as shorts into my YouTube. It was fine. I got, more views than I was getting initially with my other pieces of content, and for sure more views than I was getting on Instagram. And I'm not even on TikTok yet, but that may be, February or March's experiment. We're going to go there next, okay? But what was interesting is then I started looking around what other people were doing, and I got some more ideas that I thought would help my content be more effective. So then in my next iteration, I created some Canva templates where I could put my topic right on top of what I was talking about. So when someone saw my content out there on a short, they knew exactly what I was talking about in that video, and they would be more likely to tune in. Well, you know what? That upped my game even more. So I went from getting like 30 or 40, views to hundreds of views. So that was my next iteration, was then I started going, okay, what can I keep doing to improve my content? I started looking then at my topics, at my titles. So then I changed my titles. And here's the thing that I found out, and I know you're going to want to write this down, is what people are really looking for. Now, a lot of people will say that, people are looking for inspiration. They're looking for thought reversals, things like that. But what really people are looking for out on YouTube, at least, and I noticed that across Instagram and things like that, is help. Help, how-tos, tips, hacks, things like that. So I started changing my titles to how to do this, hacks, tips, all kinds of things that were more around how-to content, things like that. So don't listen to anybody that says that how-to content is dead. What you want to do is show people what to do, share your experiences so that they can be inspired by what you're doing and shift their perspective into thinking that they can do it as well. So when I started doing that, my views went up to 4 to 5. I even have one where I got 1,000 views last week, and I'll put that link in the show notes so you can go and see that particular piece of content and pay attention to what I've done in that video, that short, and what the title is, because those are keys to what I'm doing. Now, I did another iteration where I had seen someone else taking a graphic and doing a video with a graphic behind the scenes. I tried that as well, and you know what? Those worked really well too. Now, I had one that bombed. It got 0 views, so I did another experiment with this terrible piece of content because I was mystified. Why, when I was getting results with all of these other ones, was this one not working? So what I did then was I took that piece, deleted the short, and what I tested out, and this is why I'm telling you that titles that say what I've told you, like tips, hacks, things to do, that sort of thing, are going to perform better. Well, I just changed the title on this one, and I reposted that one yesterday. So that one went from 29 views to yesterday, within a few hours, it got 330 views. And I don't know where it is this morning because I haven't checked yet, but I'm betting it had much better performance than the first time around. So there's all kinds of information behind all of these experiments that I'm doing for you. What I want you to take away is that you should start embracing short form video content. Use a very simple script. Sit down and batch create a bunch of content. Remember that when you're titling your content, you should be using how-to tips, things like that. So now, if you're wondering, and I'm going to answer this quick question for you, if you're wondering where should I go to get inspiration for my short form content, I say go to your long form content. Look at what is your best performing content that you have out there and turn it into short form content. All right, that's what I do, and that really makes a big difference. So I'll just go to a long form piece of content and I will look for tips, things like that I can create little sound bites, little 60-second sound bites where I share something that is helpful to my audience, and that is the key to getting success on my short form content. So I have actually taken my YouTube, channel, which was pretty dead, to over 4,000 views in a month. Okay, so I was getting 1 to 2, and now I'm getting 300 to 500 views a day or more. And what I'm noticing also is that some of my long form content is now being revived, and people are actually looking at that. So what this experiment is really telling me is that use short form content so that you can reach a bigger audience and get in front of them and have them discover who you are, because this is really a great way to be seen and heard in the sea of people that are out there, because there's right now on YouTube, there's not a lot of people creating shorts. So now is the time, it's the Wild West as I see it out there on YouTube to be creating short form content. So I'm going to answer another question that I get, because people want to know, well, how do I get started with short form content on YouTube? So here's the thing that you want to know. You want to shoot your content in vertical, so not landscape, but portrait mode, because it has to be in that, has to be less than 60 seconds. So here's what I do when my content is longer than 60 seconds. When I go in and edit it, I speed it up and I make it less than 60 seconds. And actually, sometimes that is good, because I might be speaking slower than I should be in my content, especially when I'm explaining something. All right. So you need that. Then once you're done, you edit it. I add in just a title, a very simple title. And I'm going to be experimenting the next half of this month with different kind of titles and different kind of graphics on my short form content. So I won't be back with another episode of The Profitable Content Creator to tell you how that all goes and what my progress is with this short form content, because I am now going to be expanding it out on Instagram, and then I may do TikTok at the same time, just because I like to automate my content, and it's really easy for me to actually use a tool and go and schedule it all out and have it all published out. I actually hand it off to my team. So that's one of the great things about automating your content, is that you can get out in front of more people with your short form content and long form content. So if you like this episode and you want to start creating content that is profitable and helps you get in front of a bigger audience, I have the Profitable Content Creators Roadmap, where I cover the 7 tips to creating profitable content right inside. And I've got a bonus tip in here, which is my subject today, creating video shorts. So you're going to want to grab that copy so that you know how to do that. And then I also cover 5 content creation mistakes that you might be making right now and how to fix them. So if you're interested in getting that, I have the link right down below in the notes for you. And if you've got comments or questions or things that you want me to cover, please leave me a comment and let me know, because I'm always searching for new ideas to cover. So that's it for today, and I'll be back soon with an update on my short form content